For decades, the University of Georgia and land-grant universities have empowered farmers to grow bountiful crops and build the agricultural sector that is the backbone of Georgia's economy. Food and fiber production is a $75 billion industry in Georgia, and UGA's expertise and hard work in research, instruction, and extension keep that sector thriving. While research and extension have helped farmers respond to some challenging problems in agriculture, we don't rest on our laurels in good times. Food production in the U.S. has more than doubled in the past 70 years, and research done at universities like UGA has made this country the most efficient food producer in the world. The U.S. not only feeds itself, this country is also the largest exporter of food in the world. Agriculture is the backbone of our economy in the U.S., and it only makes sense for us to use our expertise to enable smart researchers and hardworking farmers in other countries to grow the food people need to lead healthy and productive lives. In partnership with the U.S. Agency for International Development, the university has hosted an innovation lab for peanuts for many years and looks forward to leading more cutting-edge research to increase food security around the world. Through the Feed the Future Peanut Lab and Climate Resilient Sorghum Lab, UGA is making traditional crops more abundant in countries that face tough food security challenges. This research has benefited farmers at home in Georgia while increasing the amount of lean protein available where people desperately need it.
My name is Andrew Patterson. I'm a Regents Professor with the University of Georgia, and I lead the Feed the Future Laboratory for Climate Resilient Sorghum. Sorghum is a crop that's maybe less well known to folks in the U.S. than in other countries. It's often known as the camel of cereals because it's especially tolerant of conditions where it has very little water, of drought. It's able to produce crops under drought, under much more severe drought than many other crops are able to tolerate, and is often known as the most drought resilient of the major grain crops. Sorghum is very widely grown in sub-Saharan Africa, the region to which it's native, although it's grown substantially in the U.S. and many other countries as well. While sorghum is arguably the most drought tolerant of the major grain crops, it remains true nonetheless that drought is still the biggest limiting factor affecting sorghum production. So one part of our effort is to further improve the drought tolerance of sorghum, starting from African cultivars that already have the agronomic and quality characteristics that are desired by the African consumer, and using conventional plant breeding techniques assisted by DNA markers to incorporate drought resistance mechanisms into those cultivars. Our work on improving the drought resilience of sorghum, together with the development of cultivars that are able to produce multiple crops from single plantings, promises to be an important element in feeding the future in a more sustainable manner.
I'm Dave Hoisington, the director of the Feed the Future Innovation Lab for Peanut Research, otherwise known as the Peanut Lab. Peanuts benefit people in a number of ways. They're nutritious. For example, one handful offers as much protein as 2 chicken eggs. They're environmentally sustainable, requiring a fraction of the water other crops need. They're helpful to the whole farm by fixing atmospheric nitrogen for other crops to use. Peanut oil can be used as fuel and vegetative material as animal feed. And the list goes on and on. In Georgia, farmers reasonably can harvest up to 4 tons of peanuts from an acre of land. But in developing countries, for lots of reasons, farmers only get a fraction of that amount. In partnership with USAID, UGA has led a team of researchers from more than a dozen U.S. universities and federal agencies to work with colleagues in other countries to increase peanut productivity. Together, we are developing new varieties, improving production practices, creating systems to dry and store peanuts, finding inexpensive but cutting-edge technology to test for quality, and learning about the nutritional value of peanuts. World-renowned researchers are working at U.S. universities to understand every aspect of the peanut genome, making it easier for breeders to create improved varieties. At the same time, the program builds research capacity in universities abroad, helping graduate students all over the world study and develop their skills to solve problems at home. This work is important because peanut is often a woman's crop in much of the world. Women grow it, store it, and process it. They feed peanut butter to their children and use peanut flour and oil in the family's meals. Increasing the productivity of peanuts in developing countries has a direct and immediate impact on the lives of people. Children are less likely to become malnourished with peanuts in their diet. Farmers have improved varieties to respond to environmental challenges, such as pests, diseases, and drought. Overseas universities and national agricultural research and extension programs have the ability to respond to food security challenges. The Feed the Future Innovation Labs are making great contributions towards global food security.